this start at Kansas City, and then you got a couple of home games against Seattle and Atlanta. And we don't have to do the whole thing, but I do think the start is important up until that game at the Ravens. So, I mean, at the Chiefs, Seattle and Atlanta at home, at Green Bay, and then you've got Carolina and at the Bucs. That's 6 games. You know, I'm going with a 5-1 record. I think it's a 5-1 start, and depending upon what happens against Kansas City, potentially 6-0.
You know, to me, I always like to do high side and low side. I think 4-2, worst case scenario. I can't get out of my head. There are 2 games that scare me in that mix. I mean, we already talked about one, that Carolina game and the relative ease that they had. I don't want to forget what Geno Smith did to the Lions last year.
I think Seattle and Carolina are 2 get-back games.
I hope so.
That are wins.
I wish I could get out of my mind the relative ease that Seattle had going up and down the field. And again, it was early in the season. It was a different type of dynamic. Well, Seattle could say the same thing because they hadn't found their running back yet in K9, so to speak. So I want to get that taste out of my mouth. But, Ryan, is he being a slappy for saying 5-1?
I've been accused of worse.
I don't. Flannel, seriously, do you think that's crazy to look at that 6-game schedule and go 5-1? I don't think it's crazy.
I'm saying 5-1 at worst, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with Ryan when it comes to the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks games. Could be get-back games. I think that the Lions will win those ones in revenge for some of the worst losses of last season. I think they'll lose to Kansas City. I think Seattle's going to be tough, but I say 4-2 is probably the floor. 5-1 wouldn't shock me, though.